This will be the first time I've ever looked out in a crowd and read any kind of poetry whatsoever. A cost that does not relent. An item, thing, calculated over and over again. It's a value unchanged. Its value unchanged, and yet unaffordable all at the same time. It's spent and saved, revered, hated. It's even shaved. It's ahead and behind, described poetically from the front, from the fool to the divine. Automatically, it is precise, yet one not can use it to cook rice. Among the smallest calculations made, you will find it remains king. Nothing controls it, nothing stops it, nothing outlasts it. Every heartbeat measured, every race run, every journey ever taken, every destination ever reached, and indeed our planets, our solar system, and cosmos itself do not concede its dominion without question or demand. It is the harshest of masters, the kindest of friends. When granted after we plead, kindest of masters, harshest of masters, kindest of friends, when granted after we plead. By space, by distance, by the cosmos, by our solar system, by our satellite body around the tiny blue jewel. By stitch, by moment, by day, by night, throughout our journey around our sun's mighty pole, it's foretold and counted in time it's spent. So that actually leads to the next one, if I can get through the next one. But how do you solve the impossible? You begin by believing it is not thus. For everything we can imagine, there is the unimaginable. We start with a problem. It has no solution. A concept constructed to portray the impossible. So often we know truth. So often we know truth. You're so simple. More we inquire, the more we learn, the more complicated our simple truth becomes. If we are willing to face the truth with all its difficulty, its myriad facts, and its inconceivable lessons. I'm sorry, it's kind of broke up. I'm not through it all the way. Impossible with courage, commitment, and humanity. We reach the improbable, just around the other side of the impossible. Again, with the application of courage, commitment, and humanity, we now apply knowledge and wisdom, and the improbable turns to the unlikely. Firmly, we stable ourselves on the ground, the bedrock of courage, commitment. We thusly face with our tools the challenge ahead to dismiss the unlikely. To dismantle the unlikely, carefully, concisely, precisely, with a symphony of reason ready to start. Paused lips and motion of tools of the trade. Sorry, that breaks up a bit. With paused lips and motion of tool of the trade, and the sound of 1,000 voices not yet made, are all paused, hushed, and awaiting single swing of a baton, of the baton momentarily stayed. What will it be? Will it move? Will it be gentle? Will it be crescendo? Will it? Which will it prove? The moment where truth tests the limits of humankind, and the sound of voices ring forth and announce something divine. We have found a way. We have found the way. We no longer are bound by the impossible that surrounds. We have broken it down as the improbable, as improbable as it sounds. We resoundingly proclaim that with strength of character we have found a truth rather profound. I titled this For Those Who Survive. And here we are again, the American public. The dads, the moms, the sisters, the brothers, cousins and friends, all astonished that it has happened again. Just last week, other funerals we had to make plans to attend. Still again, in just another week, more tragedy would beget more spin. It's sad but true, but most of us knew. In the sadness and condemnation that previous events drew, would not provoke solutions or discussions bold and true. Alas, we Americans are told there's nothing we can do but rehash the same tried and true. No individual grief, no one individual grief is worth the disturbing ire of those who shoot true. For we are consoled in knowing the truth, that a weapon bought legal will have no bad use. Pardon me, is there any tissue or anything around? Maybe, possibly, hopefully. Sorry.
Oh, good. No, yours are better. You get to keep the whole pack.
Well, that's poetic. Thank you. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you. I'm sorry about that. I can't see. I'll have to kick back up there. I'm sorry about the sadness and condemnation that previous events drew would not provoke the situation or discussion bold and true. Alas, we Americans are told there's nothing we can do but rehash the same tried and true. No individual grief is worth the disturbing ire of those who shoot true. For we are all consoled in knowing the truth, that a weapon bought legally will have no bad use. It's a toy. It's for hunting. It's for having a good time. It's not a weapon that has stood the test of time. Whether the implement is new or old, whether the wielder is young or old, no other outcome is so bold. used by both the good and the bad, the ultimate application is always sad. For a purpose like no other, it has always had. For it to take your happiness, does not make it feel bad. It is simply an instrument of destruction and will not feel sad or mad. The instrument made available has no conscience in hand and thus is indiscriminate and does not care if it's banned. It will not feel lonely or neglected if some of us do not flirt with the concept of a bigger capacity apparatus to insert. And again, no individual grief is worth the lobbyists, the industries that claim this instrument's Second Amendment worth. The truth, it has been proven. A loved one's so true it has been proven a loved one's worth does not stack up and protect us against this instrument's worst. The smiles that will not be seen, the hugs that will not be shared, the little ones that will not grow, the little ones who are now scared, all have one thing. In common that can be shared, a courage hardened by those who do not care. In stark contrast to the words uttered by those who do not care, there is a solution far more profound. It starts with the courage and a little child found, one that survived, huddled on the ground, painted in the blood of those who surround. Though she survived, silent against an instrument of war's terrible sound, her screams of terror and courage do resound. She will not be silenced or laid into the ground. We who were touched by the courage of one so small carry her story on signs tall, proclaimed as a nation in a courageous, in a chorus of voice, that we the people know her grief and what it's worth. We will gather with those that are left and reach for each other's with arms outstretched, embracing and crying and trying our best. We will express our rage and finally pass the test, the one that unflinchingly asks, are you worthy? Of the courageous and the brave? With resolve and cohesion, we the people will fight for her friends, for our family and our friends, against the industries and lobbies that do defend the rights to profit of America's end. There's a subpart. We the people are the United States of America, and we Americans will not be sacrificed for profit. I made it through partly. Thank you.